And we're live. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 139 of the Self-Publishing Roundtable. We got a full panel this evening. These are lovely people here. I am your host, Wade Finnegan, and joining me tonight is Chrishaun Keller-Hanna. Did I say Heller? I said Keller-Hanna. That didn't come out right. That's all right.
Hello.
That was backwards. Erica Conroy.
Hi.
Robert Chazz Chute. I'm working on my pitch voice.
Greetings, one and all the ships at sea.
And Xavier Granville.
Yellow internets.
As you can tell and hear, right, and see, is we're all here tonight because the Roundtable family is growing, and that of course, since we couldn't get anybody to come on tonight, we thought we would do a state of SPRT, as you will, state of address for SPRT, and just tell you about some recent changes and things we were doing. We got a really cool multi-author cross-promo giveaway going on that Erica's will tell us about a little more, and just about all what we're doing and how the blog is going and just stuff. So our family is growing, and Chrishaun and Robert, and so it's really been really cool. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're just going to talk about ourselves a little bit. So hopefully you guys can join us live and post up some questions and leave us a review at the end of the day saying how good we are. Right? So how's everybody doing tonight anyway?
We're doing great.
Relatively peachy, thank you.
Relatively peachy.
Alive. Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Vertical.
Upright and breathing. That's
Yeah.
always good. So, all right. So, how do you guys want to start this off tonight? I actually did come up with a couple of questions, even though we weren't supposed to officially. But
Questions are fun.
but you know, I don't care. However you guys want to start this. What do you guys want to talk about first?
Your questions, Wade.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so here's my first question. And we'll just run down through the panel then. So give me a typical day in the life of a SPRT host. So what does your guys' days typically look like? Chrishaun, start us off.
My day starts at about 7 a.m., 7:20, depending on how many times I hit the snooze button. And then it's push-ups, squats, and sit-ups.
Wow.
And then a shower. And then I get dressed and I drive 45 minutes into town, into Austin, and I work my day job.
When you were
Then I get
talking
off
about
of work.
squats and push-ups, I couldn't tell whether you were talking ironically or not.
Oh, no, that's actually... No, I actually exercise in the morning. It keeps me awake because I can't caffeinate before I get into my car. So if I'm going to be on the freeway driving 80 miles an hour, I think you would like me to be awake. So that's what I do. As soon as I get off the day job, I drive all the way back home. And then it's usually just before 8 o'clock. I look over some emails, do some mail, and then I start my second job, which is Alazar. 8 p.m. to midnight, I dedicate to my business and my writing. My goal daily is at least 1,200 words. Usually get around 1,900, 2,000 words in, and a bit of editing. I return any emails that I have during that time, anything business related. And that helps since most of the folks, like my cover artists and folks, are in the UK or Italy. And then after that, I talk to my husband a bit, play a little bit of Fallout, go to bed about 1.
Wow, I didn't think a whole lot of time.
And up again at 7. Damn.
Yeah, that's what I said. Damn, that's pretty good.
So a follow-up question for you, CK.
Yes.
What, besides not talking to your husband, what is the thing that you would get rid of in that schedule?
I would give up the 45-minute commute driving. The only reason why I don't take the train in is because my transport allotment is $100 from my place of employment. I can only expense $100 a month. And that's specifically the cost of my rail pass. But I also need the car in about once a week, which is, excuse me, an additional $100. I'm sorry. My lungs want to kill me. And so,
I'm
um,
sympathetic.
and so if I had that hour and a half, I could use that for writing and answering my emails, and that would give me a couple of hours just spending more time talking to my husband. And that's exactly what I spend those hours doing.
And your kids are older, right?
Yes, they're 23 and 20.
Yeah. Okay.
You're a child bride.
Just barely, yes. I'm 43, so yes.
Erica, you want to go next?
My days vary, but there's usually two settings. I get up either whenever I feel like it. This is on Mondays and Fridays. My Mondays and Fridays, which is your guys' Sundays and Thursdays, so they're SPRT days. So they're spent doing podcasting stuff, any research, a lot of writing up of things, finding news items, talking to random people, posting about SPRT, especially lately with the it's all SPRT all the time. When it's not a SPRT day, it's I get to go to my office, so I have to unfortunately wake up when my husband wakes up, but he's like Chrishaun, so he wakes up whenever he feels like it too, and he drops me off in the morning at my office, which has no internet, by the way, so I just have 4 walls. One has a door in it and one has a window, and I can look out at people in their apartments if I really want to. And that's my time for writing. So I write usually between maybe 9:30 when I get there all the way up to whenever I have lunch. And that's also where I do plotting and blurb writing, and sometimes I'll do covers in there. I will maybe come home in the afternoon by myself and hop on the internet at home and do internet-related stuff for work, for my writing business. If I have to wait for my husband to come and pick me up, it's usually over about 6:30 when he comes and gets me, but I like to go and wait for him in the Indian restaurant, which is downstairs from my office, and they let me just have soft drinks, so and use their internet. We've actually checked, you can't use their internet from my office. They're slightly too far away for their Wi-Fi to work, so... But yeah, that's usually it. I basically spend evenings with my husband watching a lot of Critical Role lately, or doing a lot of the reading. That's when I get my reading, and so we spend some time together in the evenings and some time apart in the evenings as well, before we fall into bed, whenever that might be. But it's usually before midnight, so nothing like Chrishaun. I need more sleep.
What's that?
So yes,
That when I die, right?
Yeah. So that's the typical life of a half-assed full-time writer.
That should be under your blurb.
I can't get that thing to come up, so.
All right, Robert, your turn.
Well, the quote Arnold Schwarzenegger, I have no routine. Between 2 to 6 hours a day is the writing business, but I have 4 businesses, so I got a lot of management I got to do, and a lot of it is email through the day, so I deal with a lot of stuff with the design business. I work with kitfosterdesign.com, so I deal with all the correspondence as that comes in, and that starts from the moment I get up to the last time I check email before I go to bed. So that's kind of intermittent throughout the day. I work at 2 clinics, and those shifts, one is dependable and the other one is variable. So the publishing business is fills in all the rest of the time. So despite all the demands on the time, I think that I probably still spend most of my time on the writing.
Juggling a lot, and you still have kids at home.
Yep, I have a couple of teenagers, and I have She Who Must Be Obeyed, and it's busy.
She must be obeyed. All right, Xavier, your turn.
Okay. So I'd say my day usually begins around 8:39, and I will usually get up immediately, either have a cup of coffee or I'll make a juice, and then I have about 300 plants that I'm currently growing out for gardens for the summer. So, and they're all
Legal
vegetables,
plants.
legal
Yeah,
plants.
yeah.
Oh, okay, just wondering. That's I was about to ask that.
No, just it's just
It
lots
suddenly
of
sounds a
vegetables.
whole lot less lucrative than I thought.
Yeah, I know, right? The farmers market just doesn't cut it like the marijuana business, boys.
No.
But yeah, so I have a lot of plants right now that I'm currently cultivating, and right now I'm at the stage of cutting them, so that sucks. And after that, I will jump onto the computer, and usually we'll write it for at least 1 to 2 hours if I can get that in. But it depends on the day, because if I have a video gig or an animation gig or a sound gig, then I probably will be pushing off the writing, just because it will be more immediate money in the bank. If I have, like, more recently, like I did a short film scoring for that, and that was recently released publicly. So check out on my Facebook the movie Touch, directed by Trevor Goulet. It's a touchy subject, so
Ooh,
yeah.
I like the title.
Yeah, it's like, I think, about 7 minutes long or something like that. Yeah, so depending on the day of the week, I might be doing something involving either video or animation, and that'll take precedent over the writing. But usually I try to get at least 1 to 2 hours of writing in each day, and I always do it, if I can, in the morning. So like I said, right after I've kind of had my either first coffee and juice, after I've watered the plants, I'll try to knock out as many words as first thing as I can.
Nice.
And then recently, my 1-year-old nephew has been coming over a lot because both the parents are back at work now, so I've been babysitting quite a bit.
Do you still do a lot of cover design, Dex?
Not as much as I used to. I haven't really been doing it as, like, really trying to, like, look out for clients and stuff like that. I'll do it for the occasional friend that will ask me for it, but otherwise I'm not really pursuing it too much.
Too time consuming?
Well, no, it's just more that, like, I think the trying to attract people to, and finding more clients, that's a little bit more time consuming than anything, rather than the actual making of covers.
Yeah. All right, I guess it leaves me for my turn now. So I'm up at 5:30, usually Monday through Friday, and out the door by 7, with a couple of cups of coffee in me at least, before I go deal with the children. So yeah, my day job goes from about, luckily I don't have that 45-minute drive like Chrishaun does, because that would kill me.
It is killer.
Yeah, it's about, for me, about 4 to 6 minutes door to door, depending on if I hit a stoplight or not. So I get there, and then I go home about 4-ish, probably between 3:30 and 4 most of the time. Most of the time, it's either one of two scenarios. Either A, it's my night to cook dinner, so I'll be usually doing dinner prep when I get home, or B, it's a hockey night, and so I'm taking my son to the hockey rink. Unlike my lovely co-hosts here that are up north, where there's a hockey rink on every corner, my nearest hockey rink is at least about a 45-minute drive away. So we drive quite a bit to haul my son around to hockey events. And everybody would say, well, it's off season now, but even in the off season now, he's 14. It's still Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings for sure, and usually workouts in between, so we go to those and stuff. So
I was about to object to the stereotype of all the hockey rinks in Canada. However, I think there are 4 or 5 within 5 minutes of me, so yeah, okay.
Yeah, I totally. If I would have known my son was gonna, I would have moved to Canada a long time ago because this would have made a lot more sense for us. Who knows? You're gonna have a hockey player, but so. But yeah, so I am very jealous of that, Robert. I'm very jealous of that. But I tried to do the evening writing thing. I'm with Erica though. I don't know. I gotta hang around Chrishaun more because I don't know how you get the creative mode going that late at night. My creative mode is usually best early in the morning, but my mornings are pretty taken up. But by the time 8, 9 o'clock rolls around, I have a really hard time producing words. So that's something I'm going to have to either learn how to do or start getting up earlier.
I'm naturally a night owl.
Yeah.
I'm usually up in the middle of the night, and so like your best time is early morning. My best time is that 8 to midnight. And creatively, after burning my head working with the WordPresses, what I do is I sit down, read over my plots, my beat sheet. I do some pre-writing, get those juices flowing again, and just type or talk. It depends on what I'm doing that day, dictating or typing. And I just let it flow, and I don't worry about how the sentences sound or anything. Most of my stuff is fast drafting. Editing time takes a lot longer, and I usually reserve that for Saturday and Sunday.
Ah, that's a good idea.
Do you ever do writing sprints with somebody else, Wade, to get you going? Because one thing that really gets me writing and drives me crazy is that someone out there might be writing something faster or more than I am. I despise that.
That competitive side comes out on you.
They must be destroyed. I mean, yeah, I guess I'm a little bit, yeah.
I have not tried that. So it might be. I'm right now. I'm really open to anything. Like I'm working through Monica Leonel's outlining course that she has. Give her a little pitch for Pros on Fire, but I'm trying a plug. That's what I meant. I'm just trying every different little things, trying to get better at stuff. I would get up earlier. Is that I am trying to be a nice husband and not want my wife to kill me. She's a really light sleeper, so if I get up like at 4:30, and she doesn't have to get up, even though I try to be really quiet, she always says I'm too loud when I'm walking around or doing things. So, but that nighttime writing, I want to be able to do it. I have good intentions a lot of times, and I'll fall asleep with the computer one of these. But I'm like Erica. I'm usually in bed by 10:30. Maybe I'm getting old or something. I don't know.
Hey now.
You're a rock star.
Yeah.
No, that's not it.
That's not it. Okay, good. I'm glad. So that's that. So I have another question, but I'm going to save it to the end of the show because I want to make sure that we get some of the other things that we want to talk about too. Because our promo is really freaking awesome, and Erica's done a great job of that. So maybe we should probably talk a little bit about that and some other stuff.
Erica, hold forth.
Okay. So, remember a few weeks ago we had Patty Jensen on as a guest specifically because of the multi-author cross-promos that she's doing. And her, along with a few other promotions that I've taken part of, basically inspired me to go, hey, I want to do one of these. And I thought that SPRT would be the best vehicle to do it because it has access to an audience that's much more diverse than grabbing people of just keyboards. And also because we've had several authors on the show who are sci-fi and fantasy authors, and I thought it would be really great if we could get them involved in it. And everyone wants to, get involved and have their book, in front of new readers' eyes. New readers' eyes who are already reading in the genre that they're writing in. So that's when I pitched the idea to these guys, and we decided to set it all up. It's the first one I've ever run, so this has been interesting. Some teething issues, like with PayPal, who I still want to kill, but you can't because they have our money. Yeah, so it has been interesting. I mean, we've gotten equal parts sci-fi books to fantasy books, which I thought we would see a lot more sci-fi for some reason, but we're getting equal parts of both coming in. So So that's been great. I think space opera and science fiction romance are the ones we're heavier in for the science fiction, and urban fantasy is actually is very popular in the fantasy ones that we've got at the moment. So if anyone else is interested in getting in on that, I mean, what you have to do is basically just sign up. If your submission is accepted, we will then send you an acceptance email along with an invoice from PayPal. Now, PayPal unfortunately steals 69 cents this, but the remaining money that you send that we get from you guys goes towards the Amazon gift cards that we're buying. One for Amazon US and one for Amazon UK, because we specifically want to target British readers or the UK readers, because that's like the second biggest one behind Amazon America that people are getting readers in. And so once the readers get to us, we send out all our emails to our newsletters, and we go rah all over social media about our awesome books and stuff. They can either go to the books, download them, buy them at discounted prices, and also enter into a rafflecopter that we're going to set up and do whatever it is that the authors wanted us to get them to do. So sign up for their mailing lists or like them on Facebook or whatever we've said. And each entry gets them, and each one of these gets them the reader an entry into the giveaway. And once that giveaway's over, lucky people will get the gift vouchers, and everyone will be happy. And maybe we'll run it again in the future, and maybe we won't. We'll see if I survive. But it's been a lot more work than I thought it would be.
And everyone will be happy. That's an incredibly bold statement.
But yeah, I guess Chrishaun said that we should probably talk about how we go through the submissions and decide, on the criteria, that kind of thing. So some kind of like pro tips to get your book through the submission process. It's basically what we've outlined in the requirements. First of all, what we do is we look at the cover. And if the cover looks, like a good quality cover, cool. That's usually fine. We also look to make sure that the cover actually matches the genre that you've put down. And we've had probably one or two that have not matched the genre at all, and that's basically why we've had to decline some of these submissions. Just because the cover doesn't look, anything like... That doesn't look like a science fiction. That looks like, a mystery, a murder mystery cover,
Your title
it's just
was...
left, scratching our heads going, that's not quite right. That's going to confuse the readers. So we're basically looking at everything from a reader's point of view. Would that cover attract that reader's attention? Could that reader say, yes, I know that's an urban fantasy book and I want to click on it, that kind of a thing. So once we've gone, okay, the cover works, we go and we look at the blurb and we read the blurb. Does it make sense? Are there any errors in it? Typos or whatever. But the main one, I think, is making sense. We've had a couple of blurbs where we've gone, I don't know what this is saying. There's some... Like there could be double meanings for something and it's not obvious what meaning it is that the words that have been used or something like that. But once they've gone past that stage, then we go and we look at the free sample. I have so many free samples on my Kindle, it is not funny. Mm-hmm. And we just look through the first page or two just to see how if it looks, if it reads easily, if it reads well, and if there are any obvious errors or typos or mistakes or anything like that. So if you pass all of that, you're in. If if there's something along the way, we'll ask someone else's opinion. And if they go, I think that works, then it'll go through like that. But there's usually a second opinion when we go through and select them. But yeah, I think that's it. Is there anything I left out? I have actually ended up reading a few books by mistake Not really by mistake, but it's
You
like
felt you tripped, and then
you start reading the sample page, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I better purchase the rest of that, and then that's the rest of my day gone.
No, really, honestly, it's just a matter of common sense. Like if your title is The Dragon King and you have a girl who looks like she would much rather be on the cover of a romance, that's going to be a no because it doesn't match the genre. If you have lots of typos or you're leading in with 1,500 reviews or telling us where it won awards at, I don't care. We want to know what the book's about.
If we can't find the blurb in the blurb, there's a problem.
That's a big problem. And if your blurb is a synopsis of the story instead of a promise of the emotional payout we're getting, that's a problem too. I read so many blurbs they're just outlining the story again. I'm just like, well, I don't need to read it now. Bye. And I go on and do something else. So those are the things that kind of jumped out at me.
Like I said, we've been told by other people who run the promos and by all the authors who have been involved in the promos that we should really be doing what is best for the reader. So it's the reader experience that we're going for. So if the reader's going to be coming to the landing page and they're seeing mismatched covers or, coming up to blurbs that just aren't hitting it, then it's going to be bad for the potential reader and off-putting. They might not go back and look at the other books that are on the landing page, or they probably won't get the book that they're looking at, basically. So we want to make something as easy and pain-free and as inviting and attractive to the potential readers as possible.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to jump off the subject very quickly. Wade, did you say that you was reading Monica Leonel's book?
I'm actually doing her course, the outlining challenge right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do have her book. I want to make sure I get that right too. It's Nail Your Story. I also have that book. Yes, I am reading that too at the same time.
Right.
So.
When we have a little time, I know we're going to jump to another subject, but remind me to tell y'all the SAS, the Monica Leonel's Blue Ball story. Remind me to tell you that story.
Blue Ball story. Okay, that sounds like a nice tease. Did you work in radio back in the day or something?
Yes, I did.
I've waited long enough. Tell me. I'm on now.
Oh, y'all want to hear the story now?
Yeah.
Okay, as many of y'all know, I was at the Smarter Artists Summit last week of March, and Monica Leonel, Alicia Archer from Writership, Dan Wood from Drafted Digital, and a few others, we were going to go to lunch together, and there is a food truck park across the street from the venue. So we walk, and they're asking me, the local, what should you get? And I said, we need to go to Gordo's, which is a donut food truck. And like, I want something more lunch type food. No. Look at the menu first. And if you see nothing that you want, then I recommend Torchy's Tacos, but we need to go here first. So everyone goes and looks at the menu, and a lot of them ended up getting what's called the Mother Clucker, which is a donut with fried chicken on it, and honey butter.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. That's
Mother
Clucker. And we go and we're sitting down, and Monica says, I'll be right back. And she jumps up and she runs back to the food truck. And she comes back and she sets down this case of donut holes that are filled with blueberry jam and blueberry sauce and icing. And she's like, I just gave all of you blue balls, which is the name of the dish, by the way. And so, she was like, but I'll probably this is the first time I'm sorry, I'm messing this up. It was the first time and only time I'll be able to say this. And we just had a big laugh because then she started passing it around. And it was just like, she gave him everyone blue balls.
And that's your Monica Leonel story. Nice.
Sorry.
You know, X, they're not just another country. It's a whole alien culture. I don't.
I know. Robert, she called the Timbits donut holes.
Weird.
They're so
Yes, I
strange.
did. Because
Those
They're
Americans,
not
they have
holes,
different
they're
words for
little
everything.
we Texans got names
Like
for
the French.
everything, y'all.
Why do you put donuts with savory food? That's just
What?
wrong. Why do you put donuts with savory food?
Texas.
Yeah.
Because sweet and savory is all the rage in the Bible Belt.
Wait.
Salt and
if you
sugar.
want-
Put your hands together.
you want it better, Erica? They're Gordo's, not the food truck, but the actual brick and mortar restaurant. They have a burger called the Ron Burgundy because it's kind of a big deal, and it's a full half-pound hamburger with a donut bun. That is to say, donut glazed, and then burger, ketchup, mustard, cheese, grilled onions, donut.
Oh man, it sounds like a heart attack waiting to happen.
Just hearing about this. Holy
Yeah,
God.
it makes
My
your
arteries get harder.
I thought my husband was weird by having cinnamon donuts with tomato sauce. I mean, this is
Okay, well, let's not rule that out. That is. I'm repulsed.
it's all right.
And you have to remember too, down here we still eat chicken and waffles.
Well, chicken
What
waffles
do you
are
mean
great.
still eat? I don't think I've ever eaten chicken and waffles.
You should
have that in
your life, Erica.
Yeah, you should. You should. It's good. I want to do poutine. Did I say that right? There,
Mhm.
my northern friends. I want to do that sometime. And
Don't.
but X made it sound so good.
He's lying to you. He's just mocking you. He's playing with you. He's toying with you. He's the puppet master.
Good idea, Robert. Save more poutine for us.
Poutine is for tourists and
Yes.
crazy.
Okay. Well, Robert, I don't think I've ever actually heard your go-to meal. So we're kind of getting into deep, dark land here. But what would you like to? What would be your ideal meal, sir?
Uncharted
The
territory.
kidneys of children.
My God, she knows me. Finally, a woman who really gets me.
Feast on the tears of the innocents.
Actually, every Christmas Eve in my family, we would have lobster fresh off the boat, and they're illegal around Christmas time, but we got them anyway. And me mother's white bread fresh from the oven, and you put platters of lobster in the middle of the table, and you construct sandwiches. So you get white bread fresh from the oven with mayonnaise and loaded up with lobster, and you eat the whole lobster, not like some of these freakish people who don't understand lobster who just eat the claws and leave everything else. You eat the whole body. You lick the shell. I've said too much.
And so you make a roller,
You can't
make a
even-
lobster roll, and then you go lick the shell. That's what I hear. You make a roller, and then you lick the shell, right?
And then we feast on the tears of the innocent.
Yes.
Nice.
Which is carbon dated and available in this lovely artisanal bottle. Here's the innocent.
As it was foretold in the prophecy, yes.
We only bring it out once a year. Just a little taste for Christmas.
Moving on. We're talking about food. We're way off self-publishing. Let's move on.
Yes, let's move on. What shall we go to next? Let's see. We got about 20 minutes left, so we don't want to take up too much time. But what is it that we would like to talk about next?
What are we currently reading, folks?
What am I?
Fortune Hunter by Jana De Leon, just released. 8th in the series. Cozy mystery. Yay!
Yay. I'm reading Guts, Guns, and Glory by John G. Harkness. That's Bubba the Monster Hunter Season 2. And I'm reading a short story collection called Stories from the Night Side by Simon R. Green. And I am reading Rework by an author whose name I cannot remember.
Mm.
And one other book I can't remember. I'm reading something else. I just started something else.
I just loaded something from Mark Dawson on my Kindle last night, and I can't remember the title of it now. But I just started that. I'm rereading 2K to 10K. Trying to think what else I read. Oh, that's all I can think of right now, too.
I don't have my Kindle within easy reach. I've got a bunch of nonfiction on there, all business related, and I'm rereading 1984 for the
Umpteenth time.
umpteenth time. It might be number 14.
Any particular reason why you're reading that for the 14th time, Robert? I mean,
It suits my worldview.
everybody's watching.
Preparing for Trump.
I would love to hear your guys', not tonight, obviously, but I'd love to hear your guys' take on what's going on with our politics. I'd love to see. I just shake my head. But anyway, we won't start that.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah.
It won't stop if it starts. Yeah.
No, you'll get that little E
Kingdom.
next to the title if you get me starting to talk about that.
I have sorry, X, what are you reading?
The one that I can think of, I'm starting the Legends of Drizzt saga by Robert Salvatore, and currently I'm also reading one called Collapse: How Societies Choose or Fail to Succeed by Jared Diamond, which is it's a nonfiction about the historical documents on the various different civilizations that have come and gone, and what were the key factors for their either demise or close to demise, and then they ended up adopting a different way of living, and that made them actually thrive from there on. Like in the
great.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Like in the case of Japan, where they almost deforested the entire country essentially, and then they created this way of terracing and planted a mad amount of trees, and that ended up saving the economy essentially.
Huh. I say that's what killed Easter Island. Actually, is they deforested the island, and then they couldn't get off.
Yeah.
We
Easter
gotta get
Island's
off this island. We gotta make some more statues and sacrifice to the gods. Why is that? Yeah, it's not helping.
No, it's not.
If only we could build a boat.
Yeah, but we used all the wood to build the fire to do the sacrifice to the gods. Shit.
Maybe we could make a stone boat.
Yes.
I have a question. I will ask each of you for a tip for new and used self-publishing authors, and I would like to start with a tip.
Yeah.
This year I will be revamping several of my lines. I'm doing a bunch of different books, somewhere between 6 and 9 books this year, but I'm also revamping some old stuff and kind of prepping for next year, where I expect I'll be dropping 1 or 2 of my jobs. And one of the things that I have decided is every time I write a series, I'll write 3 books, and then I'll do an omnibus, which in some cases those, like with This Plague of Days, the omnibus is the entire trilogy. There's no more to that story. That's the entire thing in total. With the series, the Hitman novels, there'll be more coming, and I'll be publishing enough of those this year. But instead of doing an omnibus, because it turns out, I suspect a lot of people don't know what omnibus means. I'm going to do book bundles instead
It's a really groovy bus.
by Volvo. Yeah. So I'm going to present them as book bundles as opposed to an omnibus, and I prefer the way the omnibus looks and how it looks and feels and appears and all that stuff. But I think what's more marketable is to make it clearer to people. You're getting 3 books for one low price, and the catalog will reflect that. So that's my suggestion, if you're thinking about doing a collection of your books, make it clearer to people what they're getting with a book bundle as opposed to an omnibus.
Dumb it down.
I hate to say it that way, so I'll leave it to you.
Any word they have to look up is a bad word.
That's right. Bad word. All right, who goes next? Robert, you did the question. You get to pick the order.
Oh, Erica looks like she wants to stew on it a while longer, and CK is frowning at me. Now she's smiling, so I'll give it to her.
Okay. The one thing that I'm finding as I start, my Black Gold and Sage is being released next Friday, whatever the last day of, well, a week from tomorrow. Anyway, point is, the reason why this is being released is because it was a trunk novel that I was told that the second part had to be chopped all the way down and rewritten. So I read it through and figured out that the first part was actually a solid story, and I rewrote the ending, sent it back through editing, and brought it back, got a cover, and now that's going to be my first release. Not every failed novel is a failed title, and that's my tip. Look through the things that you haven't, look through the things that as full novels are not publishable and see if you can shorten it to a novella or a short story. You'll be surprised what you do have. I can't hear you, dear.
Sorry, basically it comes down to don't throw anything out. You can probably reuse it somewhere else later down the line.
Yeah, so when it comes to your work, and I'm being very specific when it comes to your work, be a hoarder so bad that A&E is going to have to send a crew in after you. Right?
If you're on an A&E show, yeah.
Yeah.
You're a true hoarder.
I'm sorry, there's two of us got that. Here in the States, do y'all know the show Hoarders?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's like, yeah, okay, good. So I'm being very specific about just your work, not all the milk jugs that you've just had, or in Xavier's case, bags of milk.
Yeah, we got those.
So you're talking about
when it comes to your work, don't throw anything away.
You're talking
and
about
look over it every once in a while too.
You're talking about rewriting, and it sounds like you're talking about editing it down. Have you had the experience where you take a trunk novel and you re-edit it so it actually gets longer and better, or is it always to get better it has to be shorter?
No, there's another one that I had to lengthen. I had to add a good 5,000 words to, but I was away from it long enough that I can read it and go, oh, that's what I forgot. Let me go add that. And then it was better. That's coming out in June. It's with the editor now, so.
Nice.
Xavier Cugat Granville, what is your tip for the masses?
I really wish that Puga was my middle name now. I would say that if anything, what I learned, especially with writing my first book, and publishing Dinosaur Noir, was, like, I was able to write kind of whatever that I wanted, and given the fact that I do my own covers and I'm fairly good at it, I wasn't immediately lost into obscurity in the initial part. However, you do have to take in mind that even though you can write whatever you want, that you need to be finding that market first. So, like what we were talking a lot with Chris Fox about when we had him on about his book Writing to Market, try to find the things that correlate between what people like you and the audience that you're hoping to attain. Find that correlation between what they're interested in and what you like to write, because otherwise if you're going one way or the other, you're gonna find either if you're selling out too much onto the audience, then it might be harder to write it, and if it's way too easy to write it, it might be a little harder to sell it.
Hungry genres we need.
Yes.
Hungry genres, rabid fans.
And authors who enjoy writing that.
Yes.
Because,
I like it.
Yeah, because you don't want to be jumping into something that it'll sell, but it's work. If you actually if you wanted to be you look at Dan Brown and you're like, okay, well, I just have to look up some Illuminati shit and then I'll make a book about that, starring a very sophisticated archaeologist, and then there's a love interest, and then you can do all that. But if it actually is like pulling teeth to actually write that thing, then you're wasting time.
Wade, you are a shaper of young minds. You shape skulls full of mush into something useful. Tell me, what is your life tip that will save the lives of many a writer listening?
Yeah. How do you fix the mush, people?
Yep.
Oh, man.
And do it in 7 words, because that amuses me.
Oh.
That's 6.
Yeah, that can't do
5.
Well, now you made me think of something else also, besides the tip I had already in my head. So I will say this. I find writing is actually a lot like teaching. In my case, like I teach people how to read better. And it's not rocket science. It's not. We put it way up on a pedestal. So it's not difficult in concept, but if you're going to get good at it, you have to work your ass off. You have to really want to write, and it's the same way when I tell people when they want to read better. People that don't read well tend to avoid reading. People don't write well tend to avoid writing. So you gotta put in the time and put in the effort. And my other tip kind of went with that. It was actually from my blog post last week. Is that block off your writing time. And I'll admit I'm not prescribing to my own advice here very well, but block off your writing time and guard it like it's freaking gold. Because that's what happens. Things eat into my writing time so much, and it's like I gotta stop that. It's like whether it's a half hour or it's an hour, whatever it is, block it off, and that is yours.
So managing your time and sadly working harder. That sounds like boring and terrible advice, Wade. No one wants to do that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
No wonder you're a teacher. I hate you. I don't like authority.
I do have a suspicion, though. People who don't like to read often like to read comic books. And people who don't like to write novels, maybe they need to write comic books. Yes. Like, this is one of those things where Socrates and turtles, there's some Venn diagram there. Erica, hit us.
I just want to go on, jump on to a little bit of what Wade said about blocking off your time. A lot of people are like, yes, I really want to write, but I sit down and I check my email, and then I'm on Facebook, and then I'm on Wikipedia, and then I'm looking at YouTube, and there's lolcats, and where did that porn come from? So my main advice here
Robert does that 10 times a day, at least.
my advice here is work out how to turn off your internet and your phone. I mean, you will survive 15 minutes, an hour even, without these things, and you'll be surprised at how much writing you can actually get done. So that's the same as guarding your writing time. You've got to guard it from the physical people, and then the pretend internet people, and then from whoever the hell has access to your phone number people. So yes, turn it all off. It's the only way I've been able to write, seriously. And if you really have to, and if you're like me and you're an awesome procrastinator, because I mean, look at my t-shirt.
Procrastinate. Yes. For those just listening on audio, it said procrastinate.
It's a Dalek, yes. Instead of exterminate, it's procrastinate.
I was going to say something ruder for the people on audio, but okay.
But if you're like me and you can find either more inventive ways to procrastinate, like cleaning your house, fight the urge to clean your house. And also if you have an iPad, a Kindle, TV remotes, a deck of cards. Yes, seriously, a deck of cards can keep me distracted for at least an hour. Find a box and have someone else lock it away with one of those little padlocks and not let them out until you've finished writing. That's had to happen to me as well too. So, and we also have lock picks, so they get locked away in the box as well. So.
I think most people just get sucked into Facebook, but that went off in a strange. Are these tarot cards? No, never mind. Let's not talk about that.
No, not normal deck of cards. Yeah, no normal cards.
Sweet Pokemon
Solitaire?
cards.
I can find. Yeah, I'm really good at finding ways to procrastinate. I don't know why, but sometimes writing just seems like homework to me. So any way to
why does it always
put
come
it
back
off?
to the teacher thing? Just homework, this and on me. Gee.
Okay, Wade's feeling self-conscious and universally hated.
I think
let's not get him away from that feeling. Instead, I'd like to ask each of you. I just want one number, because something X said really hit me. It's something that came up when we talked with Chris Fox, and that was we kind of arrived at this idea that a lot of people are way too precious about writing. Instead of doing it, they're thinking about it a lot, and they're editing too long, and they're instead of actually producing, because as Seth Godin says, artists ship. So I'm going to point at each of you one at a time, and artists must ship.
Oh,
P. I'm popping my P. Although yes, there are artists that are.
We
shit.
do have to shit too, but yeah. We're still normal people. We have
Some
to
of us
shit.
are beyond that. We've evolved beyond that. So my question to each of you is, how many books will you have written by December 31st of this year? In 2016, how many new books will you have written, Chrishaun?
Define a book. I mean, give me a word count.
Anything that you publish on Amazon counts.
Oh.
Short stories, novellas, novels, I don't care. Just
The
final
plan is
produced
10.
works.
The plan is 10. The stretch is 15.
Nice. You are my Oprah. Erica.
Hang on. I got to count them. By the end of this month, just from this year, is that what you said?
Yeah. No, 2016. 2016.
Yeah. December
All
3rd.
of 2016.
Yeah. We'll come back to you. Wade.
Okay.
I'm gonna be I'll go 3.
Okay. And by that you mean 3?
3. Oh yeah, 3. 3.
Okay.
I would be happy. I would be very happy if at the end of December 31st, New Year's Eve, and I got three things up on Amazon. I'd be very happy.
All right. Well, you've committed now, and if you fail, ninjas will be dispatched.
And here's the scary thing, Robert. I really, really, truly believe you that you have ninjas at your disposal.
X.
I'm gonna say somewhere between 4 and 8, depending on the length, because I have about 6 novels on the go, and a couple shorts. So depending on how many shorts versus novels I put out, yeah, I'd say 4 to 8.
Excellent. Okay, my number is 11. And Wade, you had a question, and we are coming down to the end of the hour. So, what is your question?
I got my number back. Hang on.
Oh, hey, Erica.
Your number?
Yeah.
There was a lot of counting. I wanted to give you more time. I was going to ask you at the very end, but go ahead.
Well, I've got a couple of pen names. I'm planned for 10, but we'll see.
Nice.
I'm planning on 10. I've already done 4, so 6 to go.
You know what's actually we had a little fun with you, but it actually is true. People who only have 1 book or 2 books, they don't understand that people ask you how many books have you got, and you really have to think about it. It's a real thing, because you get a bunch of books that haven't been written yet that are still in your head. You get a bunch that are behind you. You might have had a bunch that are chopped up into serials and stuff, and it's not necessarily an easy question to say how many you got going.
I don't even know how many I've already published. So.
There you go.
Actually, that's a cool problem to have.
Yeah, I hope you've got it written down somewhere, presumably.
Oh, well, it's all on KDP, so.
Now, Wade, what was your question?
Okay, here's my follow-up question. We'll probably run a little long on time, but that's okay because our listeners love us. So we talked about our typical day. So I want to finish it with what it would be your ideal day. What do you so kind of goal set, but what would your ideal day be? And I'll go in reverse order so that way I can work away. So I'll start us off. So I've been dreaming, wanting to get up, still at the same time at 5:30 in the morning, drive to my office because I want to be like Erica. I want to have my office. I even have one picked out here in town. I drive
On a private road.
drive to my office, write for about 3 or 4 hours every morning, go for a walk or maybe even a jog after that.
Go to the beach like I can.
No, I can't go to the beach. But anyway, and then go back to the office, market, work on some beats and stuff for the next day, and just do that every day and sell books. And yeah, that's the goal. So, ideal day.
Well, it starts off with the wafting smell of bacon.
Good man.
I throw back the silken robes and I look to Enrico, my manservant, who has the bacon and eggs ready for me.
Wait, you throw off the robes and you welcome Enrique? Wait a minute.
Are you naked in this ideal day? Do we want to know?
I gaze at the. No. He has bacon and eggs, which I look at them and I swat them away, slap them in the face, and then I get on with my day.
He's backtracking now.
No, I love when I do write. I find that I can get most of it done in the morning. So I would like you said, Wade. I would love to start my day more like with at least. Extending that usual 1 to 2 hours of writing in the morning. I would like to take that to 5 to 6. That'd be great. If I ever started getting up, around 6 and I ended up finishing writing around 1, 2, that would be fantastic. From there, I'd spend the rest of the day kind of, and usually what I do at night, if I'm not, because I don't tend to do night writing, but I do a lot of note taking. So. If I can get into a good enough rhythm where I spend half of the day writing and then half the day note-taking, then I would be speeding up a lot of things.
Nice. Robert?
Well, I had a kind of a manservant too, but it was a she.
Your manservant was a she? She's a man.
I might misunderstand purposely the name manservant. So, I awake with the knowledge that my children's incredibly expensive university education is paid for, and they both have their doctorates.
Which they pay for themselves.
That's not going to happen. That's why. Well, we've got scholarships, but the thing about having children is, especially the problem is if you have geniuses, is you have to stimulate them. They're expensive. Geniuses are incredibly expensive, and I have 2 geniuses, and they are, oh my god. So there's that. I guess I would be down to 1 or 2 jobs. And one of them would be managing my imprint, and the other one would be writing. And I would be doing those activities only. So it's the boring answer is just like everybody else to subtract 2 of my 4 day jobs at least.
Okay.
Oh goodness, for me.
No, Erica's next.
And I'm sorry.
You're last this time, Chrishaun.
All right then. Let me back up.
So, like everyone else, I'd like to wake up to breakfast and bed. And my husband no longer has to work because I earn way more than he does now. in this ideal world.
You know, I get a sense that you said, "Oh, and I can go on the beach," and you're a gloater. That's what you are.
Well, I don't get much opportunity to go. I mean, this is, aside from my husband, you're the only other people I hang around with, so that's pretty sad, isn't it? We just live too far away from everyone, from real people.
Make people live in
Anyway,
this.
so I would just go off to my office because even I realize in an ideal world I still probably can't control myself and keep myself off the internet, so I'd have to go to the office still to write. And be taken back home again because I don't have to stay there all the time. So I'll do the writing in the morning like everyone else. It's when it gets out best. I can write in the afternoon too, so that could happen. But coming home, I would come home and do the business side of things, anything that requires the internet. So that's the same again. But I would have my husband home who would be able to help me with things. So that would be awesome. So he could help me run my evil SPRT empire. And we would grow that so we have 10 minions instead of the current 5. And what else would I do?
Am I a fucking minion? Is it in this scenario?
Have you not seen that on your bio on the About Us page? You're a professional minion.
I'm out. Yeah. I'm out. It's over.
I think she's counting herself amongst the minions too.
CK?
Yes.
CK is gone. CK
No,
has
I'm not.
left the building. Oh, there she is. Okay.
And yes, just expand my empire, maybe pick up another pen name, because I'd be writing a hell of a lot more, so I would have the words to do it. So that
I have a hard time believing you'd still be doing SPRT, but okay.
No, I just pulled the strings in the background. I don't have to turn up on the show anymore. I mean, yes, get Andy Weir on the show, and yes,
Do this, do that.
more audio.
As far as do this, do that, it's not that different right now.
Just saying.
CK.
Like Wade, I have an office building picked out in Liberty Hill, Texas. One of their Centurion built in 1905. I want that office building. And
Driving your Mustang to work, right?
yes.
Yeah.
My 66 Mustang, which is now being restored, and I'm driving that around.
Oh, we didn't get into vehicles. I totally dropped the ball. I ride a Panda.
I was going to guess dragon.
No, man. No, you have to be
Mustang.
slow and clumsy and take up a lot of room.
But think of all the burnt pedestrians. Go on, CK.
Yeah, the Mustang will be done by Thanksgiving, so yes, I'll be driving my Mustang around. And same thing, get up in the morning, do some exercises, go to my office, work until about 1 o'clock on the actual writing, spend some time editing, working on my podcast and my YouTube channel. Right, and I'll have product lines. I actually have merch.
Woo!
Ooh.
And minions to move your merch because you don't want to deal with these.
And a street team. Yes, the Alizar Citizens Brigade. The name of my street team. Going
You
out.
got the name picked out. Nice.
And talking to Netflix about my original series deal with them, or PlayStation Network, like the deal Brian Michael Bendis had, and just doing that and continuing to write, making enough so my husband can teach only because he wants to, instead of he has to, or he feels he has to, and hopefully in time having him leave his job and also write in Alizar because he aspires to write.
Awesome.
Family business, husband and wife duo. Oh God,
yes.
you'd totally take over.
Yes.
Imagine the amount of books you guys could produce.
Oh, world domination is on that list. The goal for me is in time, I will do 12 to 15 full-length 50,000 word plus books a year. My goal is to write 10,000 words a day.
Oh, you definitely need to be here when we talk to Amanda M. Lee then.
Oh yeah. The more I read over what she's doing, the more she's becoming my spirit animal.
Yeah, she's already my hero too.
Nice.
You know, what I noticed the commonality with all of us is that there was very little there about cocktail parties, accolades, fan mail, and universal adulation. I mean, of course, we all...
That's not what I'm in the game for.
Well, that's my point. That's my
Stuff, though. Stuff would be nice.
Stuff is fine. But
Yeah.
no, my point is that we all focused on doing the right and getting the writing done. And if anybody is to take anything from this hour of nonsense and twaddle, I would say that focusing on the writing is the thing.
Definitely. That was actually really, really fun, guys. That hour went by like that. So
I forgot one thing. It would be that when I wake up, I've magically lost weight, so I don't have to exercise.
Yeah, I could go for that too. That wouldn't bother me at all. or if you ate donuts, you lost weight. That would.
You know, the thing is, when you make more money, you do lose weight because you realize there's more to live for. I want to live longer. I want to enjoy this. This is why the top 1% live 15 years longer than the bottom 1%. At least that's the stat in America.
Yeah, the blood transfusions and the heart replacements, they have nothing to do with it.
I've kind of found the more money we end up bringing in, the more we tend to, or the more expensive food we tend to eat.
Well, it should be a higher quality then.
Oh, you would hope. Yeah, high quality McDonald's. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, with that, we got a blab coming up on Monday in Erica's time. So check us out then. 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern, and I have no idea what time in New Zealand. And next week I know we have a guest, and I can't remember who that is, but we will be today.
Selena Kit.
There you go. Gosh.
Selena Kit.
Erica's
As
all.
it was foretold in the prophecy.
So.
Also, I do want to encourage everybody to do check out the blabs because we do talk about the latest news in publishing, self-publishing, writing, whatever. And week to week, it's a really good thing to join us on Blab because, or catch the link on Blab because it's quite pithy and fast, and we get news and opinion, bang, bang, bang. It's good stuff.
And also, if you join in for the commenting, the comments are actually included in the video, so you can become famous too.
Yes. We're always looking at them comments.
So, yes, all that good stuff.
You can't write a book, you can write a comment.
Yeah. Comments are way easier. Then you'll get people going, no, I can't get the comment finished.
And you can find a lot of other good stuff on selfpublishingroundtable.com. We got lots of good things going on there, so check us out. Leave us a review on iTunes. Share us around the internet. All that good stuff. If anybody watching live wants to stay for an after party, there'll be a link soon. Thanks to all our live viewers and comments. I'm sorry I haven't been commenting. Livefire is not working for me, but one of these days I'll fix it. All right. Anybody else got anything want to finish up with?
Visit me at allthatchazz.com. Chazz is with 2 Z's, 2 Z's if you're nasty.
Nice.
Oh, and also, one of my books is included in a sci-fi romance book bundle. You remember Ruby Madden, who came on the show a few weeks ago? I'm in her sci-fi book bundle, so go look for it. It is called Portal to Passion.
Oh,
It's currently 99 cents until the end of the month. Then it's going up to $2.99. So get it now.
It is a book full of desire.
Yes,
In a world
it'll
of
probably
love.
be sex too.
Love and sex.
So not.
Yeah. And tidbits.
Oh my! I think it's
One
time.
podcast.
One woman. One man. One octopus.
One alien
one
on a lone
coniferous tree.
spaceship.
One chance to make a difference.
We gotta get the hell off this podcast before it gets worse.
Yeah, Xavier, save us. What do you have to say for yourself?
Good night, internets.